Welcome to Beginner's Guide. In today's tutorial, we are going to learn about HTML. We are going to learn everything from the basics to the advanced level. So at the end of this video, you are going to have a full knowledge on HTML, and you are even going to know how to use this HTML to build your own website. So before we get started, don't forget to subscribe the channel and like my videos. Now let's get started. For me to teach this course, I'm going to use the text editor name called Visual Studio Code. You are free to use any text editor. Personally, I prefer this Visual Studio text editor. In case if you're comfortable with Notepad++, or if you want to use Sublime Text or brackets, it's up to you. But I'm going to use this Visual Studio Code for me to teach you this course. In case if you don't know how to download or where to download or how to use this Visual Studio Code, don't worry, I have the tutorial video for the same. You will find the link in the description. Okay, without wasting any time, let's get started. Now we are going to learn about HTML. First, what is HTML and what is the use of HTML? And where am I going to use this HTML? So you should know the answer for these three questions for you to learn this course. First thing, what is HTML? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. What it does, it describes the structure of a web page. I'm sure that we come across with a lot of web pages. So this HTML is the one which describes the structure of all those web pages. Currently we are using the 5th version of the HTML. This is nothing but we are using HTML5 as for now. Now the next question is, why should I learn this HTML? What is the use? Actually, it is essential to learn this HTML if you really want to build your websites or maybe web pages. You can't build the website and web pages without knowing this HTML. So this HTML is the core. Now let's get started with some example coding part for us to understand what is HTML and what is the basic structure of HTML and all those stuff. In order to do that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a folder. For that, I'm going to my file. I'm going to click this open folder. Here is my desktop. Let me create the folder. The folder name is HTML. Now let me open. Let me close this welcome page. As you can see them here, the folder that I have created into my desktop has come here. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to create a file name. The first thing that you should know when you want to work with the HTML, a file name can be anything but with a .html extension. For example, go here, click there. Let me create a file name as index. This file name can be anything. It's not necessarily it has to be index. It can be anything, but with the .html extension. Right? Here is my file. Now here I'm using VS Code text editor, isn't it? So the beauty of this text editor is when I put this exclamation symbol and when I hit enter, is going to give me the skeleton of HTML document. So this is a basic structure of HTML document. Doc type HTML. What does it mean? That one declares the document type, which is HTML5. Then the second one that you can see them here, HTML. This element encloses everything inside of an HTML element. This HTML element includes the tags, the elements. You can put the style sheets, you can put the scripts, you can use the text, multimedias, and lot more within this HTML tag. Then what does it mean, this head? This head element encloses the metadata of a document which will not be displayed on the main content of a web page, but this could include the style sheets, it can include the scripts. If you want to include the titles, if you want to include the tags like meta, all those things can be put within this header section, which is nothing but this head section. So what does it mean, title? This title tag is the one who is going to decide the title of your web page. For example, if you are going to create a website for the e-commerce, the title of that website, for example, Amazon. So when you put title as an Amazon, that is the title is going to be displayed into your web browser. I hope you understand. Now here is the body section. So what is the use of this body section? Actually, this body section encloses the elements like we can have headings, if you want to have paragraphs, if you want to have images, or if you want to have videos, audios, everything can be included within this body section. Again, if you can notice one thing, each tag has to come with a closing tag. For example, this heading tag is a starting tag. This is the ending tag. So when it comes to the ending tag, it must come with this forward slash before this head. So even here, this is opening tag for the body. This is a closing tag for the body. So in the opening tag, we are not going to put anything. We are just going to specify the name of the tag. But when it comes to the end tag, we are going to put this forward slash before that tag name. I hope you understood. This is a basic structure of an HTML element. It has got the head section. It has got the body section. So within this head section, we can have titles. If you want to include the styles, it can be included in the head section. Or if you want to include the script, what do I mean to say script? For example, if you want to make your web page interactive, or you want to make changes dynamically, in that case, we need to use JavaScript, isn't it so? That JavaScript tag can be included within this head section. So title specifies the title of the document. In the body section, this is where we are going to have the headings or paragraphs. If you want to have the images, or if you want to have the videos in your web page, everything can be included in this body section. This is a basic structure of HTML document. The next thing that we are going to learn is about comment lines in HTML. So how can it be used in the HTML document? It's simple. Open this one, put the exclamation symbol, double dash, and then because of my Visual Studio Code, it has generated automatically. This is a command line. This is how we are going to use the command line. For example, let me say tags. So this tags is a comment. This one can be displayed in the coding part, but when you want to render this web page into the web browsers, this part of the code is not going to be executed just because this thing is being declared as a command line. So this is a single line command. For example, if you want to have the multiple line command, simple. You can type them here, whatever, enter, 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 as long as within this closing bracket. So whatever the thing that you put within this thing is called command lines. It's not going to be executed or it's not going to be displayed in the browser. Instead, it will be just displayed in the coding part command line. I hope you understood. Now we are going to learn about basic tags that we can use in the HTML document. The first tag that I am going to use here is H1. So what is this H1? H1 is the tag which helps us to specify the heading of a web page. For example, let me say this is. So as you can see them here, within this H1 tag, I had put this is HTML tutorial 2020. So what is going to happen? When I write something within the H1 tag, let me run this one. I'm going to use my web browser, Google Chrome. As you can see them here, this is a kind of heading, isn't it so? So H1 is the tag that we use in our HTML document in order to print the headings in your web page. For example, H1 you are printing as a heading. But the next tag that we are going to use is paragraph. So for the paragraph, we are going to use the P tag. This is me. So when you put something within the paragraph, P tag, is going to be displayed as a normal paragraph text. For example, when I refresh this one, as you can see them here, this is me, the normal text. Again, when it comes to the H1 tag, you can use the headings starting from H1 up to H6. So what is the difference between using the H1 and H2? For example, the H1 is the maximum size of the heading. This is the biggest size of the heading. When you use the H2, for example, let me copy and paste. Instead of H1, let me make it as H2. So let me save, then run. As you can see them here, both this is HTML and this is HTML tutorial 2020 are headings. But look at the size of the first one and the second one. The first one is a bit bigger than the second one, just because when you use the H1 as a heading, that is going to display the maximum size of a heading. When you use the H2, it is going to shrink a bit from the first one. And then if you use, for example, if you use H6, you can use the heading starting from H1 up to H6, isn't it? So let me say I'm going to use as H6. This 2 is a heading, but look at the size of this heading. This is a first heading, this is a second heading, this is the 6th heading. Still, this is a heading, but look at the size of the heading. It's too small compared to the H1 heading. So you can use the heading starting from H1 up to H6. The difference between H1 and H6 is the size of the heading is differ from H1 up to H6. In case if you want to use H7, I told you we are allowed to use only H1 up to H6. In case if you use H7, let me refresh, is just considered as a it's not a heading, actually it's just like a paragraph, isn't it? So even without H7, if you just put this is HTML tutorial, it's still going to display like as it is, because this H7 is not being considered as a heading. If it was considered as a heading, it's supposed to be displayed bold in letters. Even the size of this H6 is small, but if you notice one thing, this is bold, isn't it so? Because this is a heading. But when you use H7 as a heading, we are allowed to use only H1 up to H6. If you try to use H7, this part is not going to be considered as a heading. Instead, this part is just going to be considered as a paragraph. So no wonder that when you refresh the page, you can still see these things is displaying. It's not like it's not going to be displayed. It's going to be displaying, but not as a heading, but as a normal paragraph. I hope you understand. So the first heading is H1. The last heading is H6. So this is about the H1 tag. Another one is about the paragraph tag. Then the third one is, in case if I want this HTML tutorial to be displayed in a bold letter. So what can you do? You can use the tag name as P in front of the text where you want them to be displayed in bold letters. For example, let me just go cut and paste them between this P tag, this P for bold. So when I refresh this one, as you can see them here, this HTML is in bold letters. And then there is another tag called I. So what is the use of this I? This particular text will be italicized. For example, let me refresh. As you can see them here, now this particular HTML has been italicized. I'm sure that you have learned about the heading tags and the paragraph tags. And then if you want to display a particular statement or a sentence or a letter in a bolded letters, you can use a P tag. Or if you want them to be displayed in an italicized way, you can use I tag. This is for italicizing. Or you can use a tag name as big. So what it does is going to display in big letters. As you can see them here, it is in big in size. But when you use the tag name as small, what is going to happen? Refresh, is going to be small in size, right? For example, like equations. I'm sure that you know the chemical equation for the water is H2O, isn't it? So let me say this is a paragraph H2O. Let me save, then refresh. As you can see them here, this is displaying like H2O, but this 2 is supposed to be come below this H, isn't it? So we call them as a subscript. In order to do that, there is a tag name called subscript. So what I'm going to do before these two, because I want these two to be displayed as a subscript, isn't it? So in order to do that, I'm going to use the tag name as sub, and then I'm going to put these two between this sub tag. Now let me refresh. As you can see them here, now these two become the subscript of this H. Then, for example, if you want to display some mathematical equation, let's say P A squared plus P squared. So when I run this one, refresh, it's going to display like A2 plus B2. So if you want them to be displayed as a mathematical formula like A power 2 and the P power 2, here we are going to use the tag name as sup. This one means superscript. If you want to use the subscript, use sub. If you want them to be displayed as a superscript, use them as a sup. So what I'm going to do, let me copy here and let me paste them here. So let me delete this one. Let me save, then refresh. As you can see them here now, this thing has been displayed as A squared plus B squared. So we have learned about the headings, then we have learned about the paragraphs, we have learned about the bold, we have learned about the small, we have learned about the big, we have learned about the subscript, we have learned about the superscript, and then there is some more tags we can still use. There is a tag name called mark. So when I put this thing between this mark tag, so what is going to happen? Let me refresh. This thing is being marked, isn't it so? If I want these things to be striked, for example, there is a mark. Again here inside, I'm going to use the tag name as yes. So what is going to happen? Let me refresh. This thing is being striked, because when you use S, it's going to strike the text. When you use mark, it is going to mark the text. When you use P, it's going to be bold. When you use big, it's going to be big. When you use small as a tag, it's going to be small. When you use sub as a tag, it's going to be displayed in the subscript. When you use sup, it's going to be displayed as a superscript. So this is some basic tags in HTML that we use. Then the next tag that we are going to learn about is image tag. This is a most important tag that we use in most of the web pages. Let's see how to use. For example, if you want to bring some images into your web page, you can use image tag. In order to use that, I'm going to use img together with the source src. So what I'm going to say here, I need to specify the source of my image. For example, within this folder HTML, I have got the image name as car2.jpg. So let me put that one car2.jpg and close. Let me save and refresh. As you can see them here, the image is being displayed here. So you can see them here. This is an image. So if I want to change the width and height of this image, it can be done. Let me say width is equal to maybe 100 pixel. Width is 100 pixel. Maybe height is 100 pixel. So let me save, then refresh. As you can see them here, now my image size is being compressed to width is 100 pixel and the height is 100 pixel. So if you want to make them big, you can just change the size of the height and the width so that the size of an image will be displayed as you expected. The next tag that we are going to see is break tag. So what is the use of break? For example, here we have got let me say this one as a paragraph. Now here we have got 3 headings and 4 paragraphs and 1 image tag, isn't it so? So what is the use of this break tag? This break is almost like giving the space between each lines. For example, that one can be included in your HTML document using BR. So when you use BR, let me refresh. Can you see the space between this first statement and the second statement? When I include another BR, space can be even more. As you can see them here, the space can be even more. So in your HTML document, you can use this BR as many as possible. Depends on the design that you are going to come with. So this is a tag. It's called break tag. Gives the space between two sentences. Then the next tag that we are going to see them is a horizontal. So what it does, when you use the horizontal tags, it's going to give us the horizontal line between two tags. For example, this is a H1, this is a H2. Now let me remove this break tag. Let me use this HR. So what does it mean? This is a horizontal tag. So what is the use of this tag? When you use this HR, it is going to give us the horizontal line. As you can see them here, there is a line, this horizontal line between the first tag and the second tag. But when you use the break, it's just going to give you the space between two tags, but there is no line. But when you use the HR, it's going to give you the horizontal line. So let me refresh now. Here there is a space between this heading and this heading. But here there is a horizontal line between the first heading and the second heading, just because of this tag name called HR. I hope you understood. Then the last tag, I think there is a plenty of tags there in HTML. As we move on, I'm sure that you're going to see some more tags. So let me conclude this basic tag with the last one, the center. The tag name is center. So what is going to do? It is going to put the elements into the center of the page. For example, let me use the tag name as center. The tag name is center. Okay, I'm starting from H1 and then that center tag I'm trying to close after this image tag. Now let me refresh. As you can see them here, everything has moved towards the center of this web page. So that is a beauty, that is a use of this center tag, because this center tag I started before the heading 1 and I closed this center tag after this image tag. So whatever the things which comes between this center tag is going to be centered. In case if I start this center tag after the heading 1, so what is going to happen? For example, if I start here, let me refresh the page now. The H1 tag is excluded just because the center tag starts after the H1 tag. That's the reason why excluding the H1 tag, the rest of the tags, the rest of the contents of your web page is being displayed in the center of the web page. For example, let me cut this one and then paste them before this image tag so that we can just display that image alone in the center of the page. The rest will be displayed from the leftmost side, left aligned actually. So only this image is displaying in the center of the page, just because I have used the tag name as center, and within this center tag I put this image tag. No wonder that this image is being displayed in the center of the web page. The rest of the items are displaying from the left to right. It is nothing but the left alignment. So this is about the basic tags. I'm sure that we have covered most of the tags. Still there is a lot, but we can see as we move on. Okay, the next thing that we are going to discuss is about styles. So what is styles and what is the use of styles in the HTML document? Actually, these HTML styles are used to style the HTML elements. It also means the changing the default values. For instance, styling can change the default values of the text color as a black. Maybe we can change the background color as white. We can maybe change the text alignment as a left or right. Maybe we can even change the text sizes as the pixels. So using these styles, a lot of things can be done. So the styles can be included into the HTML documents in three ways. The first one is the external style sheet. Next one is the internal style sheet. And the last one is an inline style sheet. So what does it mean? External style sheet, meaning we are going to create the external file name called style.css to style our HTML document. So to do that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to my file here. I'm going to create another one file name called style.css. Then hit enter. So this is my external style sheet. So here what I'm going to do, my body section start from here and ending here, isn't it? So So in the style sheet, as I told you, you can change the font size, you can change the font weight, you can change the color of the text, you can change the background color of the web page, everything. For example, I'm going to select the body, opening and closing curly braces. So let me say background color. I'm going to say red. So what does it mean? I'm going to apply the background color for the body tag. So the body tag starts from here and ending here. So this background color of red is going to be applied from this heading one up to this image, isn't it so? But this is an external file. You need to link this file into your actual HTML. In order to do that, I'm sure that you can still remember, if you want to link the style sheet or script tag, that thing can be included where? In the head section. So where is the head section here? This is the head section. So here I'm going to include that style sheet. For you to include the style sheet into your HTML document, you are going to type link here. As you can see them here, CSS, right? Select this one. So here link relationship is style sheet. Then the name of the file is style.css, isn't it? So the name of the file is style.css. Now this is a way that you can link the external style sheet into your HTML document. Now let me refresh this page. As you can see them here, the background color that I used here in this body section as a red is being applied into my web page. This is a one way. This thing is called external style sheet. The next one, we call them as an internal style sheet. So in order to do, there is no need for you to create another file there. In the HTML document itself, I'm going to include the tag name as style. So where am I going to include the tag name as style? Is supposed to be done within the head section. Here I'm going to remove the link now because I don't have any external style sheet. Instead, I'm going to use the tag name as style. I'm going to use type is equals to text/css. Okay. So as you can see them here, style, the type is text.css. This is a closing tag for this particular style tag. Here I'm going to write, maybe I'm going to select again body. In the body tag, I'm going to say background color, maybe aqua. Now let me save, then refresh the page. I should able to see the background color as aqua. This is internal style sheet. That one is an external style sheet. The way that you can include the style to your HTML document externally. This is a internal style sheet. Now the third type is inline styling. What does it mean, inline styling? For example, if I want to style this h1 tag alone, I'm going to that particular tag. I'm going to use the attribute name as style. So this style is an attribute. Now I'm going to use the property. What is the property? Maybe color. And what is the color? Maybe I want them to be displaying in white in color. Maybe I'm going to use another property name called background image. Maybe background color. Background color, let me say, is supposed to be gray. Then I'm going to use another property as padding. Padding, I'm going to say 10 pixel. In case if you don't know what is this padding and what is this background color, what is this color, don't worry about these things. This is a thing that we are going to learn them in detail as we learn the CSS. So as for now, what you should know, this is the thing that we use just for the styling purpose. So let me save and refresh my browser, because this style that I applied only for the h1 tag, and then I applied this style on that particular tag. So this type of styling is called inline styling. We have seen external, we have seen internal. This is the last type, is called inline styling, meaning we are going to style a particular tag in the same line. So let me refresh now. As you can see them here, the text color is white, color of the text is white, background is gray in color. Then what it does, this padding 10 pixel. In case if I don't put this padding, you will see what is going to happen. Let me refresh. As you can see then here, there is no space between this text and the outer background color, isn't it? So to provide the space between the outside background color and the content, which is nothing but this is HTML tutorial 2020, we are going to use the property name as padding to make sure there is a space between the content and the outside background color. Then if you want them to be displayed in the center of the page, you can still use another property name called text align. It can be center. So save, then refresh. Now as you can see them here, the text is in the center of this background image. So this one looks nice now, right? So this is inline styling. The styling can be applied in any ways, external, internal, or inline. So this is how it can be done. I hope you understood what is styles and what is the use of styles in the HTML document. The next thing that we are going to learn is about HTML element. The first thing, what is HTML element? HTML element is nothing but anything which comes with the tag, starting tag and the closing tag. The whole thing we call them as an HTML elements. So this is what we are going to discuss now. HTML element. This HTML element can be divided into two parts. First one is a block level elements. Another one is an inline elements. Now, what is block level element? A block level element is an element that creates a horizontal boundary block. It always starts a new line and takes the full width available. For example, the commonly used block level elements are the heading tags and the paragraph tags and the div tags. Example for the block level elements, we can use the heading tags, we can use the paragraph tags, we can use the div tags. As you can see them here, even in this example, there is a heading tags and the paragraph tags. But you can see one thing, everything is being displayed in the new line, isn't it? So they were not displayed in the same line. It's not like the H2 is displaying here, maybe the H3 is displaying followed by this H2. No, everything is being displayed in the new line. That is called block level elements. So in order to use the block level elements, we can use the H tags for the heading tags, we can use the paragraph tags, or even we can use div tags. So what it does, for example, use div tags. I can say within the div tag, you can write anything, maybe let's say beginner's guide. Let me save, then refresh. This one is going to be displayed at the bottom of this image. As you can see them here, it's been displayed here. So in order to give some space, let me use the break tag here so that we can use some break line between these two tags. Okay, as you can see them here now, there is a space between these. So the beginner's guide. So these things are displaying in the new line. That is called block level elements. There is another element called inline element. So what does it mean, inline element? An inline element is an element that does not create its own horizontal boundary block. In short, it does not start a new line. Everything will be displayed in a single line. For example, there is a 3 types of tags that can be used as an inline element. First one is a span, another one is an anchor tag, third one is an image tag. So let me give you an example for the inline element. This one is a block level element. Then the second one is inline element. So here I'm going to use span as a tag. Let's say hello everyone. Then the next tag that I'm going to use is anchor tag A. I'm going to say I'm okay. The third tag that I'm gonna use is image. Let's say image, then source, the same image I'm going to use. I'm going to use the car, the same image. Let me close this one. Let me save and refresh the browser. Let me come down here. Let me set the width and height here. Maybe width is equals to maybe 100. height is equals to 100. Let me save and refresh. As you can see them here, this hello everyone is here, followed by the next one I'm okay is here, and followed by the image is also displaying here. Everything is being displayed in a single line, whereas in the block level element, when you use the h1 paragraph and the div tag, each element is being displaying in the new line, isn't it so? But when you use the inline elements, which are nothing but the span or anchor tag or the image tag, they are all displayed in a single line. So this is about the elements and the type of elements that we have in our HTML document. Then the next very important topics that we are going to discuss is about tables. How are we going to use tables in our HTML documents? If you want to use the tables in your HTML documents, there is a tag name called table. Within this table tag, this is where we are going to have our data. When it comes to the table, a table can have rows and columns, isn't it so? A table can have rows and columns. In that rows and columns, we can have information to store, isn't it so? So here table is the tag that I'm gonna use. In that table, let's say my table has got 2 rows. So when you want to store the data into the table row, we are going to use the tag name as tr. tr is for table row. So let's consider my table has got 2 rows. There is a first row and the second row. In the first row, I am going to have table header. For example, th. th is for table header. Let me say country is the first header. Then let me just copy and paste. Or I can say the first title is, let me say this, maybe YouTube. YouTube is my first table heading. The second one is, let's say, maybe video topic. Is the second title. I mean second heading. The third one is, let's say, subscribers. So this is my table. My table has got 2 rows. This is a first row. In that first row, I'm going to have the table heading. TH is for table heading. Then I'm going to have the second row, isn't it? So let me copy and paste them here. This is the second row. Now in the second row, I'm going to have the data for this table heading. So here is gonna be TD, which is nothing but table data. Everything is gonna be table data. What does it mean? My table has got 2 rows. This is a table row, first row. This is a second row. In the first row of my table has got table heading. The first heading is YouTube. The second one is the video topic. The third one is the subscribers. Then here I need to put the data for this heading. The first one is the YouTube. What is the name of the YouTube? Here I'm going to say beginner's guide. Then the second one, video topic, I'm gonna say HTML. Here the subscribers, I'm going to say 100k. Let me save and then refresh my browser here. As you can see them here, let me give some break here so that we don't have any issues. Let me save and refresh. Okay, it's better now. As you can see them here, there is a 2 rows. This is a first row. This is a second row. In the first row, I have got the table heading. First heading is YouTube. Second heading is video topic. Third heading is subscribers. And then the second row, I have got the values, data for that table heading. The table heading YouTube channel name is Beginner's Guide. Topic is HTML and the subscribers is 100,000 people. Now, this one doesn't look nice. Now, let me create the border for my table. In order to do that, this table tag, I'm going to use the property as border. So the size of the border is 1. Let's say the border size is 1. Let me save, then refresh. As you can see them here, now the border is being created. But again, there is a space between the outside border and the cells inside, isn't it so? So to avoid that one, we are going to use the property name called cell spacing. What does it mean? Cell spacing. In the cell spacing, I'm going to set them to 0. Let me save and refresh now. As you can see them here, those double boxes have gone now. So the cell spacing is 0. No wonder that there is no space between that other cell and the outside cell. Now it's looking fine. Then again, I'm going to add some padding. So I'm going to say cell padding. Cell padding, I'm going to say maybe 10 pixel. When I save, let me refresh. As you can see them here now, it looks better. There is a padding between the inside content and the outside border, isn't it so? Now, as you can see them here, the text inside the table is not looking good. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to apply the next property name called text align. I want to align the text to be in the center. So I'm going to say here in the property text align, I'm going to put them in center. So let me save, let me refresh here now. As you can see them here, the border text align has been center. Even the thing is also moved to the center. Now it's looking better. So this is how you can create the tables in your HTML document. You're going to use the table as a tag name. Inside the table, we are going to have rows. If you have good number of rows, you can have as many as number of rows as possible. Maybe as many as column as possible. For example, even here, what I'm going to do, let me just increase this one. I'm going to add another one. Let me save and refresh. You can see there is a more rows now. There is a 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. For example, if you want to combine 2 rows, or if you want to combine 2 columns, this is a row, isn't it? So this one is a column. Horizontally is a column. Vertically is a row. For example, this is a first column, this is a second column. If you want to combine these first 2 columns, what you are going to do in this table heading, I'm going to use the property name as column span is equals to 2. When I say column span is equals to 2, let me refresh. You can see these first 2 columns is being combined together. The column first one and the second one is being combined together. Then in the table data, this is a row. For example, this is a first row, second row, third row. So here let me use the property name called as row span. Row span, I want to combine 2 rows. So refresh. As you can see them here, these 2 rows is being combined together. These 2 rows is being combined together. So this is how we can use tables in our HTML document. Then the next thing that we are going to see them is about list. The list has got 2 types. First one is an ordered list. Another one is an unordered list. If you want to use the unordered list, we are going to use the tag name as UL. UL is for unordered list. For example, within this unordered list, I'm going to have the list of item. In order to do that, I'm going to use li as a tag. Let me say apple. Maybe another one. Let me just copy and paste. Maybe the second one I can say orange. The third one I can say banana. So let me save and refresh my page. As you can see them here, this is an unordered list. No wonder that it is coming up with this disk symbol. In case if you want to change this, that one can be done. So in order to do that, in the unordered list, I'm going to say type equals to maybe circle. Then save, then refresh. As you can see them here, the list is now circle. Or if you want to save them as a square, you can just say the type is equals to square. Refresh. These things will be square. But by default, it is disk. So this was the default thing. which has come. So this is an ordered list. The next one is an ordered list. So when it comes to the ordered list, what does it mean? It's going to come with an order. So here we are going to use the tag name as OL, which is nothing but ordered list. Just let me copy and paste them here again, the same thing. So this is an ordered list. OL is the tag. Within this ordered list, I'm going to have 3 lists. First one is an apple, second one is an orange, third one is a banana. Let me refresh this one. So let me scroll down a bit. As you can see them here, there is an apple, orange, banana with the order 1, 2, 3. If you want to change this number into the letters, maybe let's say ordered list type, I want them to be displayed in the capital letters A. So put capital letters A or uppercase A is gonna be ABC. Put the lowercase is gonna be lowercase. Or if you want to put the Roman numbers, it's gonna be displayed as a Roman numbers. If you want to start the numbers from maybe 5, so what you can do, type is 1. Maybe here you're going to say, you're going to use the property as start. Maybe let's say 10. So save, refresh. As you can see them here, we are going to use the type as numbers. No wonder that I had put 1. But the number is going to start from 10. That is the reason why, as you can see them here, the number has started from 10, 11, 12. I hope now you understood the concept of list. Now we are going to learn how to include the videos into your HTML document. This one is just the same as you include the images into your HTML document. In order to include the videos into your HTML document, all you need to do is open the tag name called video. Then you need to specify the source. Here, name of the video. Name of the video, let's say I've got the videos here. Maybe the name of the video that I want to include them here is float versus double. This is the name of the video and this is an MP4 format. Then just close this one. So this video tag should come with a closing video tag. Now let me save and refresh my browser. As you can see them here, this is a video actually, but it doesn't have any control. Let me just maximize. Actually this is a video, but it does not have any controls. So in order to include some controls, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to include the controls. So what I'm going to do, type the property as controls, save, then refresh. When I maximize now, I'm sure that now you can able to see the controls for this video. This is a play button, this is a mute button, this is a maximize button. For example, let me mute this one. Let me minimize, maximize. This is a control. If I want to play this video, here we go. If you play this one, it can play the video. Right? Now the next property that I can use here, because this one seems to be looking big, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set the width, maybe 400 pixels. Let me save and refresh. As you can see them here, now because of the width is equal to 400 pixels, now you can able to see the video clearly. Now I can set another property name called poster. What is the use of that post? In case if I want to set some thumbnails for this video, that one can be done with the help of the property name called posters. So here poster, here I need to pass the name of the thumbnail. Let's say here I've got the image name called mypost.png. So let me use them here. Let me save and refresh. As you can see them here, now you can see the video with the thumbnail, right? Then the next property that I can set, I can mute the audio by default, like using the property name called muted. Let me save. As you can see them here, my audio is now enabled, right? Now I have included the property name called muted. Let me refresh. As you can see them here, the audio has been muted, but if you want to play, you can play, but still my audio is muted. Then another property that I can do is loop. So what is the use of this loop? Let me save and run. In case while I was playing my video, let me play my video. I've reached this level. When I am done with this video is going to loop through. It's going to start from the beginning again. That is the use of the property name called loop. So this is how you can include the video into your web page. Then the next thing that we are going to see is about iFrames. So what is iFrames and what is the use of iFrames? For example, if you want to use the YouTube video into your web page, that thing can be used with the help of iFrames. For example, this is a YouTube. This video is about the fish. In case if I want to use this YouTube video into my web page, that one can be done. So go to the YouTube, select the video that you want to display into your HTML document. Then what you can do, go to this share and click this embed. As you can see them here, there is a code here with iframe. So just copy everything and paste them here into your HTML document. Now save and refresh the page. As you can see them here, that particular YouTube video has been uploaded into your web page. So this is how, if you want to use any videos from the YouTube to your web page, you can go to that particular YouTube, then you can click the embed, then get that part for the iframe, then come and copy them into your HTML document so that the respective YouTube video will be displayed into your HTML document. So this is about the iframes, and this is how iframes works in HTML document to display the videos from the YouTube. Now we are going to learn about HTML forms. This is a last topic for this tutorial video, and this is a most important topic. Let's learn how to use HTML forms. In order to do that, we are going to use the tag name called form. So what is the use of this form? In most of the websites, I'm sure that you come across with a sign-in form, sign-up form, registration form, login form, and all those stuffs. So those are all the forms we are going to design with the help of this HTML. In order to design those forms, for example, if you are going to create the login form, let's say the first field is a username and the second field is the password field. So to do that, first field is a username field, isn't it? So let's say I'm going to create the label. I'm going to say username. Let me save and refresh. As you can see them here, the username has come. Then followed by the username, I want to have the text box here. In order to bring that text box next to the username, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create input box. The type is gonna be text because I'm going to enter the username. The username is an text type, isn't it? So I'm going to close this one. Save. As you can see them here, there is a username field. Here is the text box where I can type my name. Is it clear? I hope it's clear. Then the next one is, I'm going to create the password field. In order to create the password field, I want them to be displayed as a password, then followed by the box. So for me to display as a password field, I need to use the label field. Here instead of username is gonna be password. Then I need the text box like this, isn't it? So let me copy and paste them here. Let me save and refresh. As you can see them here, both of them are displaying in the same line. In case if I want this field to be displayed in the next line, what do I need to do? It's simple. I'm just going to use this statement called break. I'm sure that you have learned about this tag before. So just use that break so that you can see this field is been displayed to the next line. Now I have got the username field. Let's say beginner sky. In this field, I'm going to type the password. When I type the password, it's showing me the text. In order to hide that text, instead of input type as a text, use input type as a password. So what is the use of using the input type as a password? Refresh, then type the password here. As you can see them here, the password field every time when you type is just showing the dot, not the actual password. Then the third input type that I am going to use is range. So what is the use of this range? Let me save, then run. As you can see them here, this box is like a range. If you want to increase the range or if you want to decrease the range, so you can use the text type as a range, you will able to get this range. Or if you want to display the date, use input type as a date, save, refresh. Here is like a type of calendar. If you want to select the date, you can select anything, right? So this is the use of the input type name called date. Or you can use the input type as a file. When you use the input type as the file, so what is going to happen? It's like this is where you can go choose the file. Let's say I have chosen the file, open. As you can see them here, this is a file that I have chosen. So these are all the different types of input that you can use them. Or for example, if you want to bring some text area, there is a field name called text area. When you save and refresh, it's like a big box. If you want to increase this one, you can increase, where you can type a lot of text. That is the use of this text area. Then the next input type that I am going to show you is the checkbox. Here instead of file, I am going to use checkbox. So what is the use of this checkbox? Let me refresh. So this small tiny box, every time when you want to check, you can click here so that this box will be checked. Here I can say I agree. Let me save and refresh. Do you agree? Yes, I agree. Tick the box. Then the next input type that I am going to show you is radio button. So here the type of the input is radio. Here I am going to say maybe mail. Let me copy it and paste another one. Even this one is also the radio. Here I'm going to say female. Let me save and refresh. There is a male and female. Let me tick this one. Okay, let me tick this one. As you can see them here, I can able to tick both male and female at a time. But typically, I'm allowed to tick either male or female. So in order to make that changes, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to include the property name called name. I'm going to say gender. Even here, I'm just going to use the same property with the same name. Let me save and refresh. Now as you can see them here, I can able to choose the male. When I click the female, this field goes off because a person has to be either male or female. So in that case, we are going to use the radio button with the same name. Both name has to be same. That's the reason why this is allowing me to check either male or female. Then the last one that we are going to see them is about select. So what is this select does? Here I'm going to use the tag name called option. Let's say in the option I'm going to say select the country. Let me save and refresh. This is like a select button. This is a message for the select country. When I click here, I need to come up with the options, isn't it? So here what I'm going to do, I'm going to come with the option. Let me say select the country, maybe India. Here I can say US. Here I can say UK, Africa. Let me save and refresh. Now I can select one country among these 4 countries. Let me select Africa. As you can see them here, Africa is there in that particular selection field. So this is a different ways of using the input type in HTML form. This is how forms works in HTML. This is the end of the session actually. I hope you understood from the beginning up to this point. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like the video and share with your friends. and don't forget to subscribe the channel. Thank you.